Hey guys, welcome to Hello Life. I gotta clean up this mess and I just haven't had energy. But we're gonna see if we can get something done tonight. I haven't had no kind of energy. Just been tired this week. Well, today is the beginning of this week. Well, not this week. I just been tired the last 2 days. And anytime that you do something big, when you are introvert, it can take from you. It can take a lot of strength from you. So it may take you a long time to recover. And that's kind of what I am at right now. Recovery phase. But it's been a while since the air just come on. Don't ask me why it does that. It's been a while since I have really done a great clean on my kitchen. And I want to do something to it tonight because I'm just tired of looking at it the way it's looking. And I did cook tonight. And that kind of encouraged me to want my kitchen to look nice. And we're going to do a 15-minute clean. Before I get that 15-minute clean started, let me tell y'all a little bit about what's going on. Okay, so before we get started cleaning, y'all pick your areas out where you want to clean with me at. Tonight, I'm just doing the table and the counter. I don't have much to do over there, just a few things that need to be threw away. Just like the table, there's some things here that need to be threw away, and I need to just add some new cloth to the top of it. But other than that, I just need to throw things away. And that is my goal for tonight, is just to clean off these counters and this table. And I think I can do it in 15 minutes. If I feel like going further, I will go further. But because this is an emotional clean today, it's going to be what it be. But we're going to try to get as much done as we can. So why this is emotional for me today is because I went to my 30th class reunion. Class of 94 is what it was. The class of 94 reunion. And I did great. I went by myself. I got stood up by not one date, but 3. I got stood up by 3 people. I was like, well, let me have some other ones in the back of me just in case. Y'all, we ain't starting the cleaning yet. Or do y'all want me to clean and talk? Well, let me just get this part out. I was like, okay, I'm going to invite 3 different people. That way, if one don't show up, maybe the other ones will. Lord, what I do that for? Neither showed up. Neither one showed up. Now that one, I can understand why he didn't show up, because he really already did have plans for his birthday, and he did tell me that ahead of time. But those other 2, come on now, they could have done better than that. And altogether, I had already paid for everything because I was like, it's my event that I'm going to, and I just really wanted somebody to be with me because I thought I was going to be by myself. I was a little nervous. I didn't know how things were going to go, to be honest. I've never been to a class reunion before, so that was big for me. Y'all, okay, my mind is saying work and talk. That's what my mind is saying. Let's go with it while my mind is in the mood to do it, working and talking. So, I didn't know what to expect because I've never been to a class reunion before, and it was so unexpected for me to even get the invite. First off, shout out to the ones that gave me the invite, Annette Nixon and Ruby Spivey Parsons. I was glad to get the invite, and Eva, yes, can't leave Eva out. Eva has the most prettiest smile, by the way. Hadn't seen her since high school, maybe. Yeah. So I got the invite, and I didn't know how these things go. I didn't know if people bring their families. I mean, not families. I know they don't bring their families, but I didn't know if they brought. I just didn't know what to expect. So in my head, I was like, okay, well, at least I get somebody to walk in with me, I think for a second, my mind forgot who I was. because I was so excited to get the invite that my mind blew it up bigger than what it was supposed to be, which means anxiety kicked in. That's all that was. Anxiety had kicked in because I hadn't been around some of these people in 30 years, and it, you know, them seeing me seeing them, and you know, wanting to know how everybody looks. Will I even remember you? Do I even remember you? You know, those types of things went through my head, and the anxiety kicked in, and I was in that space where, okay, if I had somebody with me, maybe that'll distract me from what I'm thinking. But child, no. Woo-hoo. To be honest, it did not distract me from what I was thinking. I got in there. Hold up, I'm jumping too fast. It didn't distract me from what I was thinking, and I decided, let me call in some who may be potential good, you know, they friends, and they friend-like, and some of them I hadn't, you know, had time to really get to know like that. But I felt like I knew them well enough that we could go and have a nice time at my reunion. Let's see here. I need trash bags. Yeah. I felt it was good enough that we could go hang out at the reunion. Plus, it was in a safe, well-lit area. I felt good about that. So that one, I knew he wasn't going to be able to make it. The second one, I knew he probably would not make it either, because he always got excuses. So he wasn't really one I was for surely banking on. But, you know, after I was talking with my daughter, she was like, well, just ask, and, you know, if he do, it's okay. If not, and he was not. He did not show up. Now, do I worry about that as far as friendship-wise goes? No. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not worried about who showed up for me and who didn't show up for me. Because once I got up in there and once I had prayed about it, and I really prayed about it, and God just picked everything out for me, lined it up where I could have a nice dress to wear that was comfortable, nice shoes that were comfortable, a nice little handbag. Once I got to feeling myself, I didn't care if anybody was with me or not. Because I was like, look, I'm going up in here and I'm going to just have me a good time. And that's what happened. I got up in there. I wasn't nervous like I thought. You know, sometimes that's the way Satan will do. He'll make us feel like we one thing and we really not. I wasn't really nervous. Those people, whether they know it or not, because I spent so much time with them over the course of my life. You know, when you're growing up with them, you know, we spend our first 5 years together. And we've spent 8 hours out of the day together most of the years, you know. And you think about for 12 years, that's, some of them people is more like family. That's family. Even down to my white brothers and sisters, you know. I was overwhelmed with joy to see how they were really welcoming me. And I didn't realize that many people really wanted to see me. You know, I just didn't know. I know some of them had seen me before, but some of them had not seen me in a long time. And and when they started introducing themselves, hold up, y'all, I'm trying to pick up something here. When they started introducing themselves, I was like, oh my God. He was trying to tell me Auburn Reynolds. It took me a minute to catch who he was, but when I finally caught on to it after I sat down, I was like, oh yeah, I remember Auburn Pretty Blonde. I saw some of my friends, and immediately I started thinking about some of the things. You know, some of them had a little more, well, they had way more things than I had growing up. And they were nice to me. They shared what they had, pencils, crayons. They shared what they had, and I thought about that as an adult. I was like, they gave me experiences that they don't even know they gave me. They really did. I got experiences. I wouldn't have never knew what those lead pencils was if it had not been for my classmates. They was able to get some, and they shared sometimes. I wouldn't have known what a Crayola crayon was. All I knew was that crayon that said non-toxic, and it colored like wax. You barely could get a color out of it. I didn't know about Crayola crayons. But my classmates who did have Crayola crayons, they let me use theirs. I remember one time we were doing reindeers, maybe in first grade. And I remember asking one of my classmates, I was like, can I use your brown and black? I was so scared to ask for that brown and black and red crayon the color Rudolph. But they let me use it. And that was the best coloring crayons I had ever used before. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Y'all know I'm from North Carolina, so I say crayons in my area. So I don't know how y'all pronounce it, but you know what I'm talking about, things you color with. And I used what they had, and it was good. I am looking for something to wipe down with. But seeing them really blessed my heart and my mind and my soul. And I was genuinely happy to see my classmates live, well, and enjoying one another. I mean, that was a blessing. I was so excited to see that. I had never seen that before since we had become adults. Now, some of them I see, whenever I go out to the stores or, they still be in the area. And then there's other ones I have not seen. But I was glad that we got to see each other. Y'all, I am looking for something that I cannot find. Come on now. Where's it at? I had a spray in here. Okay, there we go. Wiping down the table, y'all. Are y'all with me? What are y'all cleaning? Taking a pause in the story to see if you're still cleaning. Okay. Alright. So yeah, I would say, if you get an invite to your class reunion, please go. Go. The reason I say that is, it's going to be good for your memory. And it's going to be good for all of y'all who have not seen each other in a long time. Because I could look at the men's faces and I could tell that some of the men were just as happy to see me as the women were. In a freeing kind of way. Because with the guys, especially in elementary, man, I used to love playing with Shira. Any kind of action figure doll. Because I was a little tomboy like. But any kind of that, I really just love. Oh, man. I'm over here working and I ain't got no working supplies. Because y'all know I said I was just going to do this out the spur. Yeah, but if you get the invite, go. Go. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid of what you look like or what you think they may look like. Expectations can cause us to miss out on some of the most beautiful moments in life. And that's one of the most memorable moments that I've had since 20 well, my granddaughter Emery was born 2020, but since that was like a highlight of my life, and I would like to stay in touch with them because I noticed. Now this is talking from the older generation. I have an uncle named Franklin, and my dad. They had a childhood friend, and his name was, oh goodness, what was his name? His name was Carl, and he owned a diner here. They were such good friends back in those days that my uncle would travel all the way down here every year just to see his good friend Carl from school. I mean, every time. Every year. He made it at least once a year. And Carl died about 90-some years old, I want to say. And my uncle made a special trip down here just to go to his funeral. That is beautiful. That's a beautiful friendship. And that friendship was developed back in the days when it was a lot of segregation going on. But they didn't let nothing stop them. So yeah, I'm very happy to still be looked at as being a part of the class. And the really highlight, now I was happy to see everybody living and well. But another highlight was looking in the yearbook. And do you know that I did not know the accomplishments I made back in those days? I did not know I was even in the yearbook. But lo and behold, who I saw in the yearbook was none other than Miss Koko Bowden. And I was in the yearbook with my high school friends. Look, they weren't just my high school friends, but since elementary, they was in my life. And I had two of them that I was really close to. And I mean, even after I left school, I was still close to them. Well, actually, it's about three of them I was still close to. Even after I quit school, we still stayed in contact. And when I looked in that yearbook, because I wasn't going to look. I was like, I don't think I'm in the yearbook. So I wasn't going to look. But then when I looked in that yearbook, and I saw there was me and my friends, me and my best friends, sitting in there. And guess what the book page said? Eagles, the best of friends. That's what it said. And when I saw that, I said, I know without a shadow of a doubt, God got something planned for me good. No matter who's trying to be against me, no matter what, God got something good for me because I saw my friends. And nobody knew that was my heart's desire, was to just be able to see us in that order again. Even though I didn't even remember taking that picture. I really didn't. And had the nerve to have on a blazer because I always dressed like I was going to work. When I went to school, whether it was middle school or high school, I already dressed like I was an educator. I always dressed like I was a businesswoman. I was already speaking into my life who I wanted to be until I started, listening to the wrong people who just wanted me to fight. And that's where I messed up at. I was trying to be cool when I should have been trying to be a learner. So I messed up with that, but to God be the glory. It's straightened out now. But yeah, in that picture was a row of my friends that I hung with. And the two that I was closest to, I was leaning in one's lap while I was standing up, and the other one was right beside her, LaShawn and Arlinda, and I just cried. When I ain't gonna lie, I tried to hold it in when they did the tribute, because they did a tribute for those who had passed, and we had 15 in our class who had passed, and when I seen Arlinda, I just started crying because me and her, we really went through so much. we went through so much, you know. She was dealing with a parent who was too strict. I was dealing with parents who were, you know, they were strict too. And you know how we are as kids. We don't ever think that your child is too young to find that friend who is that friend for them for life. Because we ended up being best friends for life up until she passed away. And she passed away with a tumor, a cancerous tumor. And the other friend of mine, she was killed. Oops, I didn't mean to say that on here, but she was unalived by, you know, somebody. And I'd rather not speak on that because, yeah, we're going to leave that right there. But to be honest, I shedded a little tears while I was there, but I had to catch myself because I did not want anybody's moment to be, you know, ruined by tears. Because not everybody do the tear thing, you know. Some people are like, don't come here with that. I know what that's like. So I did wait until, I got a spider here. So I did wait until I got in the car, and I didn't really think I was going to cry. I thought, you know, I was just still smiling, looking at the cake and happy. And then I looked at the pictures, because I took pictures of the yearbook. And when I got home by myself and looked at it, I just cried like a baby. And that was closure for me. Seeing my two friends there, who are angels over me now. And I'm going to tell you why I cried like a baby. Because when they passed, I didn't get to go to neither one of them's funeral. And that was because at that time I couldn't take it going to funerals. That I couldn't do it back then. Mentally wise, I wasn't stable enough to handle that back then. And I didn't want to believe that they were gone, for one thing. So I did not go to the funerals. And just looking at that picture gave me a moment to reflect. And I was able to get closure just by looking at that picture and remembering that they knew who I was. They know how I was, so they would have known that I wasn't coming, because they knew I couldn't take things like that at that time. You know, young and just didn't have it in me at that time. But yeah, that was my closure. And I needed that. I needed that cry because I couldn't cry for them either. Because I was with a man who, first off, I didn't want nobody picking on me for crying. Because all my life I got picked on because I cry a lot. And because I'm just sensitive, okay? I'm sensitive. I'm year-round sensitive. And when I get whatever I'm going through, it requires tears to get me through sometimes. And if I don't let those tears out in time, I end up just blocking the whole thing what happened. And I had blocked out both of them just so I could make it through. I blocked out that they was gone so that I wouldn't have to deal with the emotional part of it. And Saturday night, I dealt with the emotional part of it. And I'm going to continue to work on it because I know that I still got a ways to go. I'm going to continue to work on that. Continue to work on the emotional part that's behind that. Because, you know, you just don't get over friendships like that just being gone. I know I cried about 5 or 6 times. Every time I looked at the video I put up on TikTok or YouTube or the pictures in my phone, I would just start crying. Because to be honest, we were all we had in that moment. You know, it's some things that I can't tell that went on with us three, but we was all we had. And that was real. We didn't have no other help. It was just us, and we had to lean on each other. And that's what we did. We leaned on each other. And it's hard to find that type of friendship now. In all the years that I have been going, I still have not found that type of friendship. That was a one of a kind type of friendship. I was the fighter of the bunch, and my friend Orlinda, she was the one that always kept me calm. Right time she feel I finna get in some trouble, she'd be like, Jamie, don't do it, cause they ain't gonna do nothing but you gonna be in trouble, and they gonna be sitting back laughing. So it was that type of advice. And now with Sean, me and Sean, we just love to run together, boy. I thought it was just amazing how we ended up just hanging out with each other. And Sean was kind of like, she older than me, I think. But she, just by some months, but she acted like, a little baby. Not a little baby, but you know how you had the baby of the friends? She acted like she was the baby of the group. And we let her have that. Even though I was the baby, but we let her have that. And we just went from there. But it was good thinking about them and seeing that picture that I did not know existed. I didn't know that picture existed. And now that made me want to go buy other yearbooks. I had no idea that picture existed. So y'all know, that was an instant flood for me right there. That was instant. And that's about it, y'all. I got one more area to clean off, and I'm going to be done with this after this one more area. So let me put this back over here. Got a few things I need to put in its respectable places. And that's going to be it. What we got to do? Oh, yeah. So do I have anything else that I need to say? I don't think so. I think God allowed it to happen the way it was supposed to happen. That's why I'm not mad at the guys that didn't come. I'm not mad at them. And I know people ain't going to understand it. They're going to be like, girl, you just stupid. I don't care. Call me stupid. I'm not mad at them, because if they would have came, I wouldn't have got the same experience that I got. I wouldn't have got it, because I've been too busy trying to, entertain them and, pay attention to my friends too. So it worked out the way God wanted it to. That's why I'm not upset about that. Not upset about it at all. It was what it was, and we could just thank God that, just thank God for the experience. Alright, y'all, so I'm going to kind of talk loud because I'm over here in this other area now. Whew, this counter. Now, this the one. Right here. This counter. We always have that one area in the house. But it's just so easy to really clean up. It really is. If we could just get in the habit of throwing away stuff as soon as we make a mess. That's easier said than done. Put the fruit things up and wipe down the fruit things. I hope my trash didn't waste. Yeah, I ain't mad at those guys for not showing. I mean, I really didn't expect them to. Sometimes we just get nervous and do the unexpected. Alright, y'all. So, y'all, I hope y'all were cleaning along with me. I am done with my area of cleaning. I got it done. And I feel like I'm going to continue on doing some more here. I'm going to sweep this floor. I need a broom. I need a broom. But I gotta sweep out from under this table and around this table. I do not like to see trash on the floor, but it happens. And, oh yeah, this part here too. I want to say to anybody out there that's struggling like me, whether it's to keep your home clean, emotionally, physically, I'm struggling physically too because of the weight that's on me has caused so many different illnesses and, makes the joints harder to move and work. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself and stay focused. If you really want to do something, just get up and do it. If you know that your mind is going to keep putting it off and off, just get up and do it. Because I promise you, I looked at this house for about a week and a half, and I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I didn't do anything. And I always had an excuse, too, for why I didn't have anything. So give yourself some grace, too. Don't think because you're not doing anything that you're not doing anything. Sometimes you're not doing anything is relaxing your mind and keeping your mind just so you can get through the day. And people who have never been through, I'm not even going to call any situations, specific situations, but people who have never been through what you have been through, they can't talk. If they've never been through what they've been through, what you've been through, then they won't understand what it feels like to be you. And only you have the power within you to pull yourself up out of whatever you're going through. If you need a week to waddle in it, take a week. But after that week, it's time you get up. After them couple of days, it's time to get up and get back moving. I think now, before I wasn't moving because I had a lot of swelling going on. But now I feel like I'm able to move a little bit. Not much, but I'm moving enough that I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be in that area. But don't let people count you out if you don't have that mobility or if you don't have the financial means to pay somebody to come in and do it for you. Don't let people count you out. God is still on our side. And whatever you do, don't stop talking about God. Because I know there were people who laughed at me and picked at me just because, I love the Lord. Because I love the Lord, And I tell you, I do love the Lord. Because in my down times, He's been with me. My up times, He's been with me. And through many friends who have came and gone, He's been with me. So yes, I love God. And I can't help it that y'all just don't, some of y'all don't, you don't have that relationship with Him because it takes time to build. It takes time to build a relationship. It doesn't just come overnight. Yeah, you can be saved just like that, but building the relationship, it takes time. It's like anything. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to be taught. It needs to be groomed. It needs to be cultivated. You got to grow in this thing. It's nothing that, I didn't just get faith overnight by saying, oh, it's already done, or, okay, God got this. No, that's not how I got faith. I got faith through going through the trials and tribulations, through saying, Lord, I can't make it. And through, there were times I broke down and cried and said, God, I can't get through this. Or there was even times I remember when I was doing the bad stuff that I was like, Lord, just go ahead and take me with you because I can't handle this world out here. And He wasn't ready for me to go with Him. Because He knew that I could handle it. He knew what He put inside of me. I just needed to find it. And the only way I could find it was through allowing Him to use me and to study more and more about Him. So the more you study about who God is, the freer you become. That's why I can look at people and I can love them. It's hard. It's not hard to love them, but it's hard to accept some of the things that they do sometimes. And that's where when I feel myself getting like that, I have to go and find scriptures on forgiveness. I have to find similar stories in the Bible where somebody had to forgive somebody that, they know they did them wrong and, they hurt them and they broke them, but they still had to forgive them out of love, and restore them if they could back by love. People don't do that anymore. And then, I always talk about the reprobated mind because I don't want to tell you to stay in something And you be trying to go for it, but the person with the reprobated mind is trapped. They're trapped by their own thoughts, their own self-love, self-indulgent self. You know, the Bible said in these times, men would be lovers of themselves, and that's what they are, lovers of themselves. So when God sends me my man, he not going to be ashamed to go nowhere with me. I mean, I just know God to do what needs to be done. However, there is some cats out here that is just not worth talking to. I be trying to, that's another topic and not for this podcast, but I will say this. Relationships do matter. So if you want to stay healthy mentally, you have to pay attention to who's in your relationship. I mean, and that's not just talking about, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. I'm talking about your friends who are around you. Even down to your children, your family members. All this is relationships. It's relationships. Which ones are draining you? Which ones are uplifting you? Which ones, who's doing what? You have to pay attention to that, because that can either make or break you if you don't catch the plots and time and the schemes, because they are out there. And next thing you know, you'll be sitting around your house, be looking a mess, and you'll be wondering, how did I get back here in this area again? I thought I was past this. You got past that situation, but there'll be plenty more. And I'm going to let you know right now, there will be plenty more trials and tribulations that's going to come up. Plenty more people who going to hate you and mock you and laugh at you and try to play you crazy. It's going to be plenty more people that do that, because that's how the world is. The world is not our friend. Anybody that loves God, the world is not for us. That's why the Bible says, greater is he that is in me than in the world. Because God is not in the world. He's not for that stuff that they're doing on that side. Those with that reprobated mind. But those who really come to him with a repentance heart, he will change your heart, your mind. You'll start looking different, feeling different. I was looking at myself in them pictures. I was like, girl, you've been through hell, but you sure look blessed. It ain't even got nothing to do with brooding. When I say I look blessed, it ain't even got nothing to do with money. It's got everything to do with how God has kept me when I didn't have, when I couldn't have, when I didn't want to be. And y'all, I done got this talking, but it's okay, right? The talk is good, right? Priceless talk. But we're going to have to get into this cabinet more better. This cabinet of mine. This whole cabinet. We're going to have to spend one day over here. And we're going to take 30 minutes. Take a break. Then come back another 30 minutes. Whether it be the same day or a different day. Because what I'm seeing with this cabinet is a lot of spiders. And these spiders are dangerous. And while I'm sitting here talking, let me go get the broom. Because I don't want to go to sleep thinking about this floor. This floor been on my mind for about 2 weeks. And I just haven't been able to do like I want to do with it. And this broom keep getting shorter and shorter. So when you got enemies, they try to keep you from keeping your house clean. And that's what my enemies are doing. I'm sweeping now, y'all. It's the hardest thing to keep stuff off the floor when you have people that's coming in your house and they just throwing it down there. It's very hard. can't talk and sweep, y'all. That takes breath. Ooh. Had to sit down a little bit. We're still rolling. Keeping it going. Ain't got hot. Oh, y'all, I forgot. I told my granddaughter I wasn't going to be on here long. Because I heard her cut the fan off. So you couldn't hear it. So I'm going to have to let y'all go. I'm going to have to let y'all go. But thanks for tuning in, listening to Hello Life with Miss Koko. And let's see. We got 41 minutes in the day of talk. I was able to release emotionally. I hope you're releasing and you're working on your home still. You're not defined by every little thing that happens in your life. Keep getting back up regardless. Peace, love, and happiness until we clean again. Y'all be great. Don't let nobody stop your progress. Because this right here is trust the process season. Okay? Trust the process.